there, I'm Leslie, a prenatal teacher here at Blooma, and this is another short-ish class for specifically if you are feeling really tight in your shoulders, tight in that upper portion of your back, sort of bra line, and that space between the shoulder blades, maybe tight ribs. We run out of a lot of space in pregnancy, if you think about it, as everything shifts to make space for your baby. So this practice will try and open up a little bit more space and release some of that tension. Today, we're going to take a moment to start in extended child's pose, so knees wide and the hips back. This can look like this with your body all the way down. If it's more comfortable to you in your pregnancy to rest with your forearms on top of a block, go for it. You're going to just let the chin drop towards the chest and take a couple of breaths just to welcome yourself into this space. So time here to greet yourself really honestly and warmly, that sense of unconditional love. Time here to as well greet your baby, to thank your baby for joining you in your practice and on this journey of motherhood. After you've taken just a little bit of time to feel centered, to come into those even breaths, staying in your extended child's pose shape, we're going to take our block a little bit forward and resting the forearms on top of the block, see if we can drop the heart down towards the mat and get a little bit deeper in the stretch between the shoulder blades. So really working to open up that space behind the heart, between the shoulder blades. Just taking a breath or two. And then you're going to ease out of this shape and bringing your knees now a little bit closer together. We'll take the block between our legs and come to a seat on our heels. So as you sit down, nice tall spine. Take a breath to lift your hands overhead. And as you exhale, interlace your fingers, press those knuckles really tall here, letting yourself just extend and lengthen the spine. And then bending your elbows out, you're going to find the back of your head. And as you inhale, draw your elbows back, lift your heart and gaze up. As you exhale, tuck your tail, scoop your belly, and draw your elbows in. So we'll take that a few times, nice big breaths, open up through the elbows and the chest and the shoulders, and as you exhale, round it. Taking it two more, moving slowly at your pace. Can you slow it down so it takes the whole inhale and exhale to make those transitions? Good, and then coming back to center here, send your hands nice and high. We're going to bend through the left elbow, reaching the hand to the back shoulder blade, and then capping that elbow with your right hand. See if you can come just a little bit deeper here. Snug your belly up and in. Just take a little time to stretch. Really nice. Couple more breaths. Can you take any arch in your low back out, just lifting your baby up and in, lengthening your sits bones down. Nice. Inhale, lift the hands tall. As you exhale, planting down through your left palm, just take a little side lean here, up and over. Anchor down through your right hip and glute, and take another breath or two. Good. Rising back to center, arms lifting. We'll take second side. So now my right elbow bends. And as I press the back of my hand to the back of my heart or to my shoulder blade, I'm going to cap my elbow and just ease a little deeper into this stretch. Can you notice your low back? Can you take that big arch out of the back by lifting your belly up and in, and give yourself a couple more breaths, just quietly opening a little space into your shoulder. Really good. Inhale, lift tall. As you exhale, take the side lean, second side, really anchored through your hip, extending energy out from your pinky finger, breathing into the left side of your body, your left lung. And then you're going to inhale back to center. And as you exhale, pass your hands through your heart and down, and we'll climb forward to all fours. So coming to all fours, you're going to need to reach between your legs and remove that prop. And then with the prop at the front of your space, lift it to the middle height, bring your palms on top of it, and step your right foot forward outside of the block. So giving you the front view. The front of my block is aligned with my big toe, and my palms are resting on top of the block. From here, I'm going to take my left toes to curl under and lift my knee. And then I'm going to step this left hand off of the block nice and wide. And as I inhale, lift my right arm to a twist. So pause here. See if you can fire up that left glute a little bit. Get the hips a little bit more level and stable. Take a breath to your right fingertips. As you exhale, thread the needle, keeping that left arm nice and straight and reaching underneath. So we're going to take that with our breath. Inhale, open up. Plenty of space for baby and belly to twist with. As you exhale, thread. Take it 2 more big breaths in, opening up, big breaths out, reaching underneath. Awesome. Last one, inhale. As you exhale, thread and hold for a moment. You might even tent your fingertips. Let the chin drop towards the chest and breathe. Awesome. I'll bring my palms back to the block, bringing myself back to that lunge. And then I'm going to bring my left foot forward and just hang in a ragdoll at the top of my space, couple of breaths. So you can take opposite hand, opposite elbow, take a slow nod, yes, and a side to side, no. And then releasing any bind in your hands and tucking your tail. Let's roll up gently all the way to stand. Letting the spine unfurl as you arrive, softening your shoulders, big breath, reach out and up, fill up. As you exhale, fold your body in half, finding the palms on top of the block, and now stepping your left foot up and back. So coming to that lunge second side. Give yourself a little moment to find stability in the hips, lift your back heel. And then you're going to bring your right hand really nice and wide, and giving yourself space for your belly to twist with you, lift the left hand tall. Good. Stay really strong in your glutes, strong in your hips, your arms. Take a breath, and as you exhale, thread the needle, reaching under your right arm. Inhale, open your left hand high. Exhale, thread the needle, reaching underneath. Good. Take it 2 more at your pace. Resisting momentum here, really bringing breath to bear into that attempt to open up the shoulders, the back of the heart. As you reach underneath, this time pause, maybe the fingertips tent, maybe the chin drops, and just breathe into the twist and the stretch. And then you're gathering your hands back to the block. And as you're ready, stepping your right foot forward and hanging for a moment in ragdoll, just swaying, nodding, letting that go. And then releasing the hands. This time, as you inhale, take a halfway lift. Feel that length in the spine. Hug your shoulder blades together. As you exhale, fold. We'll rise, reverse swan dive. So stepping down through your strong legs, sweeping your hands around you and up. And as you exhale, letting the hands come to rest at your heart center. Just taking a moment to gather yourself. Feeling the body in alignment, head, heart, hips, heels. As you're ready, release the hands and take another breath to send them around you, and an exhale to fold. So I'm going to plant my palms back onto this block, really aligning this front edge with my big toes. And then I'm going to step my left foot up and back and draw that heel down into a warrior 1 stance, about a 45-degree angle, toes to heel. Hips are working to stay squared. I'm working to keep that right knee balanced directly over my right heel as I rise and add my arms. Interlace your fingers, press the knuckles nice and tall. See if you can deepen that stance. And then releasing the hands so that they're facing one another. You're gonna bend your left elbow just as we did before. Cap the elbow with your palm. See if you can get a little deeper here. And then holding really stable in your legs. There's a little side lean up and over to your right. Big psoas stretch here. Keep breathing. Awesome. Inhale back to center. Slowly release your hands. And then bring those hands with interlaced knuckles behind your head. The inhale is going to open the elbows wide and lift your gaze and heart. The exhale is going to straighten your front leg and tuck chin and draw elbows together. Take that 3 times like you're moving your body through water, nice and slow, moving at the pace of your breath. 2 more. Opening up some space here. Last one. Good. Exhale, round in. And then releasing your hands as you inhale, rebend the knees. You exhale, open to a warrior 2. Flip your palm, inhale, reverse. Exhale, cartwheel your hands to the block. That back heel's gonna lift, and you're gonna step forward and hang in ragdoll, couple of breaths. Breathing, opening and closing the jaw, letting that go. As you're ready, release your bind in your arms. Take a breath to come into halfway lift. Exhale to fold, bend knees. Rise to a chair pose here. And with your exhale, straighten and stand. Hands at your heart center. Give yourself a breath or 2. Release. Big inhale, send the hands around you. With your exhale, fold forward and bring your palms to the block. Second side, we're stepping our right foot up and back. And as we come into this lunge, we're going to ground the right heel into that warrior 1 stance, working to square hips, working to really find that strong contact with the back heel. Rise as you're ready. Front knee is bent, sole of the back foot is to the earth, and the arms lift softly. Well, from here, interlace your fingers, press the knuckles really tall. Breathe some fresh breath to your chest, and then releasing that bind. Bend your right elbow, hand finds the back of the shoulder blade, cap the elbow with your left hand, and holding yourself nice and stable in your lower body. It's that side lean now to the left. Just take a couple of breaths. Beautiful. Inhale, rise back, send your hands high. And then interlace your hands and gather them behind your head. Big breath opens the elbows, shoulder blades snug in. As you exhale, straighten your legs, spread your shoulder blades apart and tuck your chin. Taking it 3 times, using your breath to help open space in your shoulders and your chest. Good, 2 more. Last one, and then staying here, release your hands nice and tall and open into that warrior 2. Flip your palm, take a beautiful breath to reverse. And as you exhale, cartwheel your hands to the block. This time we're just going to drop the right knee and untucking toes, bring the left knee back beside it. Come off of your block, you can leave it at the top of your space. Tuck your toes and find a downward facing dog. Just a couple of breaths in that down dog. Just letting that work go, pedaling the heels. And then we're going to inhale to lift the heels. As we exhale, drop the knees. We'll send the right toes off of the mat a little bit and the left toes to curl back, rolling open into a modified side plank. So as I lift, I'm going to really think about letting my chest spread by lifting my fingertips tall. And then as I press down through the pinky edge of my back left foot, I'm going to draw my arm overhead and see if I can get longer in that reach through my pinky finger. Use your breath here once again. So you're reaching forward through your pinky, you're reaching back through your pinky toe. Fill your left lung with breath. Really use that breath to open space in your ribs. Take another breath in here as you exhale, bend back knee and reach your hand behind you. We'll just take that a few times, inhaling to reach forward and maybe gaze down. Exhaling to reach back. One more. So beautiful. And then as you inhale forward, you'll just exhale back to that squared hips and shoulders. You can keep your toes tucked under and just for a moment, little core strength, let the right foot slide back to meet it and now press yourself back to down dog and let that go. Little pedal of the heels, sway up the hips. Lifting the heels and dropping the knees, preparing for second side. So now it's my left toes that shift off the mat, right toes reach back and heel comes down. And I'm lifting my right hand up into that modified side plank. From here, really stepping into the pinky edge of my back foot as I float that right hand forward. And I'm extending through my right pinky. I'm using my breath to fill the right side of my body, my right lung with air and create space. Give yourself one more breath. The exhale bends the knee and reaches that arm back. Take it just 3 times, shifting in and out. Good, one more. After your third time, bring the hand down, square shoulders and hips. Slide your left toes back beside your right and press back to your downward facing dog. It's our last one. Give yourself a couple of extra moments just to pedal the heels, to nod yes, or maybe open the mouth and release a little heat through an open mouth. And then we're going to come back to the knees, back to that tabletop posture. From here, you're lifting your right arm into a twist. Take a moment to reach forward and back, just finding a little bit more space here for that right shoulder. And then as you're ready, we'll thread the needle. You should have a block top of your space. It may be nice to rest your cheek on that block if the floor feels far away. Once you arrive with your right cheek resting on something, take a little sway of your hips. And then we will walk the left hand to the upper left corner of our mat. And using that palm as your anchor, see if you can let your left shoulder come back and down. Take a couple of breaths, spreading the shoulder blades apart, breathing deeply. And then, before we come out of this twist, option to take your left hand on top of your right into that prayer position. And as you press down through your hands, maybe you're able to lift your shoulders a little taller. Big opening for that space at the bra line, and just breathe. Good, and then we'll plant the left palm back in front of the nose. Take a big breath to uncurl. And as you exhale, draw your hand to the mat and round into a cat shape. Just holding here a couple of breaths. Head can move side to side. You could lift up to your fingertips. Just taking that nice counter stretch, and then we'll come into the second side as you're ready. So the breath lifts the left hand high, and you're pausing here and making some shapes. Notice if you're bunching in your toes, let them spread. As you're ready, big breath, lift a little taller. With your exhale, you're threading the needle. And then as you thread that needle, first shape is to move your right hand to the upper corner of your mat, and as that palm becomes your anchor, can you slide your right shoulder back and down, just making a little more space. Belly's really soft here, lovely hammock for your baby, and the face and brow are soft as well. Give yourself maybe another breath. And then second variation, if you want to try, right palm rests on top of the left. And as you press down and forward, you're using that as leverage to draw your top shoulder up and back a little bit. Bring your breath to the back ribs. Bring your breath, fresh breath to your chest. Just one or two more. And then you're going to release. And as you inhale, unthread, lift tall. As you exhale, ground your palm and round into your cat shape. We'll pivot in and out just a time or two, inhaling, coming into a neutral spine, and as we exhale, pressing and rounding as the head drops down. Just one or two more, moving really slowly. Coming to stillness, we'll let the knees shift to one side and the hips to the other. And right from here, just ease ourselves into a side lie. So just one or two more shapes before we come into our rest. You're going to roll to your back, knees lifting and bent. Soles of the feet are going to toe heel to the edge of your sticky mat. And then bringing your arms nice and wide to a T. Just start to move your knees gently side to side. Really think about dropping and spreading the back of the heart, dropping the low back, letting the legs get heavy here. Eventually, we're just going to let the knees settle all the way over to the left, and we'll take a full, lovely spinal twist here, spinning the gaze to the right and pausing for some breath. Opportunity here to scan your body, to notice if something is still gripping, to notice if you're still activated anywhere in your body. Just bring a little breath, invite it to quiet down, to soften. And then gently inhale the gaze and the knees back to center, letting the knees now settle to the right. And once they get heavy, turning your gaze to the left. Taking a little breath here. Let the jaw soften a little bit, little space coming between the teeth, tongue spreading. The breath continuing to even and to deepen. And then taking everything back to center. Draw the knees in towards your armpits and find a happy baby. Just as you draw these knees wide, really think about dropping again the back of the heart, letting the chest spread, letting the sacrum spread as you take a gentle rock side to side. Next stop is rest. So this is a time to assess if there's anything else that you would like to do before you take that rest. If the answer is no, as you make your way in, just because we worked to really be soft in the shoulders, be mindful of them as you come to rest. So if you're taking rest on your back, maybe there's a little tuck of one shoulder blade and then the other, and the arms come wide and you spread through your chest. If you are curling to your side to rest, I'm really going to recommend that block under your head so that you have this nice space between your shoulder and your ear. Your neck is nicely aligned with your spine. And then you might curl into that fetal shape with or without a pillow between knees and ankles. I have a couple moments here just to rest and to receive before I let you know that it's time to come out. And taking this opportunity to once again check in with yourself, send yourself some love, some light. Using your breath to reconnect with your beautiful baby here, reminding your baby you're safe. You can take this time and rest. This is your Shavasana. Give yourself just a little more time to rest, to receive. As you feel ready, just inviting really soft movements to start, maybe taking a thumb over the first finger and then the second, third, fourth. Maybe simply opening and closing the jaw, taking a breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. As you feel ready to come out of your rest, you will curl to your right or to your left first if you're not there. And then really slowly and mindfully press your way back to a comfortable seat, sitting on your heels or cross legs. And as you arrive, bringing your shoulders over your hips. And from here, we'll take a big breath and lift the shoulders up towards the ears. As we exhale, melt them back and down, letting those circles continue with the breath and just get a little bit bigger each time. Reverse the direction of your circles. And then with your next exhale, letting your hands rest at your sides, keeping those shoulders so quiet and soft. Take a big sweep of your hands around you and up, fill up with breath. And with your exhale, let the hands gently rest back at your heart. Sealing this practice, bowing forward, taking a moment to silently honor yourself for a beautiful practice and to silently honor your baby for joining you. Be well. Namaste.